Please get out your study guide so you can fill in the blanks as we go along. This is a reminder of what your objectives are for these 2 days of rotations. At your stations, you should be able to identify the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers on a map, identify the Sumerian contribution of cuneiform, describe Mesopotamian religion, and to describe Hammurabi's Code, which is what we'll be focusing on tonight. Describe Hammurabi's Code using details. Number 11. Hammurabi was the king of Babylon. He created the world's first laws. I want everyone to repeat after me. Hammurabi. Babylon was a city in Mesopotamia. Hammurabi wanted to unite everyone in Mesopotamia into one empire, kind of like Sargon did, and he thought creating a single set of laws and writing them down would help him accomplish that goal. Hammurabi did many great things, but he's most famous for his code of laws. Hammurabi's code was a set of 282 laws that dealt with almost every part of daily life. People living under Hammurabi's rule would have probably chosen to obey his laws because the punishments were so severe. For example, if you stole something and were caught, you'd be put to death. Or if you were a surgeon, a doctor, and your patient died on the table while you were doing surgery on him, your hands would be cut off. If you hurt someone else, you would have been hurt in the exact same way you hurt them. So if you broke their arm, they would break your arm. Hammurabi's code was based on a social hierarchy. It favored the wealthy and revealed little respect for the poor or the slaves. So this pyramid is representing the king up top and the poorest of people at the bottom and kind of everyone in between in the middle. So Hammurabi's code for the slaves and the poor people at the bottom was much harsher than for the people who were wealthier up top. So these people had to follow the laws and would have those harsh punishments like getting their hand chopped off. While the people up top would probably just pay money to not have to go full with the punishment. But the people at the bottom didn't have money, so they just had to suffer the consequences. Moving on to Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar was the king of Babylon after Hammurabi. He defeated the Akkadian army. Nebuchadnezzar is most known for rebuilding Babylon into a beautiful city after its years of war and fighting. He built a grand palace and beautiful gardens called the Hanging Gardens for his wife. Finally, we are going to learn about the Phoenicians. You'll learn about this in your map activity as well. The Phoenicians developed the world's first alphabet. That's where we get our word phonics. Who's ever heard of the program Hooked on Phonics? That program helps children learn how to sound out words and figure out the sounds that letters make. And that's what the Phoenicians did. They created an alphabet that based on letters. Cuneiform was the world's first writing, but the pictures represented words. So one picture would represent a whole word. We have an alphabet like the Phoenicians where we have to put together letters to make a word. Phoenicians became expert sailors. They built fast ships and trading colonies. They also invented purple dye, which they traded and became very wealthy from trading it, glass blowing, ivory carvings, and silverworks. Your password for tonight is clock.